Imagine a virus that kills 1 out of every 2 people it infects. There's no approved vaccine, and scientists are forced to work with it only in maximum security biosafety labs. This isn't a TV series, it's not a horror movie. This is the Nipah virus, and right now new outbreaks are once again being reported. News coming out of India sounds alarming. And after COVID-19, a very natural question comes up. Could this happen again? In this video, we'll break down why Nipah is considered one of the most dangerous viruses in the world, and at the same time, why it still hasn't turned into a global pandemic. Nipah is a zoonotic virus, meaning it originally comes from animals. Its natural reservoir is fruit bats. They don't get sick themselves, but they can pass the virus on. Humans first encountered Nipah in the late 1990s, when farmers in Southeast Asia began developing a mysterious and often fatal illness. Investigators later discovered the transmission chain: bats, pigs, humans. Since then, Nipah has appeared repeatedly in parts of South and Southeast Asia, but it has never become widespread. The biggest problem with Nipah is how severe the disease is. It often starts with fairly common symptoms: fever, headache, fatigue. But within days, many patients develop serious brain inflammation, which can rapidly worsen. Confusion, seizures, difficulty speaking, loss of consciousness. Damage to the central nervous system is the main reason Nipah has such a high fatality rate. Unlike flu or COVID-19, Nipah doesn't spread easily through the air. Most infections happen through food contaminated with bat saliva or urine, raw fruit or unpasteurized drinks, close, prolonged contact with a severely ill person. Human-to-human transmission can happen, but mainly in hospitals or households caring for very sick patients. A key point: most infected people don't pass the virus to many others, which prevents large outbreaks. Could Nipah become a pandemic? Short answer, right now, no. And not because the virus is weak, it's actually the opposite. People become severely ill very quickly. There are almost no silent, asymptomatic spreaders. Transmission requires close contact. Infection chains tend to burn out fast. That's why, despite decades of monitoring, Nipah has never adapted to sustained human-to-human spread. Yes, mutations are theoretically possible, but so far there's no evidence the virus is moving in that direction. How to reduce your risk? Here's the key takeaway. Random infection is unlikely, but risk increases in specific situations. Food and drinks. Avoid raw or unpasteurized juices. Don't eat fruit that may have fallen on the ground or shows damage. Wash fruits and vegetables thoroughly. Heat and cooking greatly reduce risk. Animals. Avoid contact with wild animals, especially bats. Don't touch sick or dead animals. Don't handle animal slaughter without protection. Never eat meat from animals that died of illness. People. Close contact is required for transmission. Don't care for severely ill patients without protection. Avoid contact with bodily fluids. If you develop symptoms, self-isolate. Hygiene. Wash hands regularly. Avoid touching your face. Use separate dishes and towels when sick. Healthcare settings: gloves, masks, eye protection. Minimize unnecessary exposure. Strict infection control protocols. If you've had a possible exposure and develop symptoms, seek medical care immediately, reduce contacts, and don't self-medicate. There's no specific cure, but early supportive care can be life-saving. So let's bring this down to one key takeaway. Nipah is not a new COVID, and it's not a global pandemic threat right now. Yes, it's extremely dangerous for those who get infected, but it spreads poorly between people. Asymptomatic carriers are rare, and outbreaks remain localized. That's what keeps it contained. What's happening in India is a serious warning for public health systems. but not a reason to panic. Nipah is dangerous, but manageable when cases are detected early and basic precautions are followed. If this video was helpful, give it a like. Subscribe to understand complex medical topics without fear or exaggeration.